Brilliance Audio presents The Mixtape by Brittainy Cherry, performed by Jordan Cobb and James Shippey.
I came from a family built of extroverts. Me? Not so much. It didn't bother me any. I was one of those lucky bastards who knew who he was at a very young age. And my family loved me for exactly who I'd always been. I thrived in my introverted ways. If I had a book, a jam-packed playlist, and a dog companion, I was a happy guy. My brother Alex was the complete opposite of me. More like my parents. He flourished at social gatherings. If there was a party, Alex was there on center stage. When it came to having a twin, self-discovery almost seemed impossible because everyone compared you with your literal other half. Yet I never really struggled with that when Alex was involved. Even though we were best friends, we were extremely different in a million ways. While he was the extrovert at gatherings, I was the observer. Alex preferred to engage in groups, while I loved to study them from afar. I knew I was a people person, but I worked best with them on a one-to-one basis. Crowds overwhelmed me, because the energy of the space always felt chaotic. Even though my brother and I never fell victim to thinking we were less than one another, the world had its own opinions of us both. Alex and I were a musician duo, Alex and Oliver, who'd found more success than we probably deserved. With every pair of siblings in the spotlight, there was one who people preferred over the other. It was even worse with twins. People loved to compare us all the time in the media, from our looks and our personalities to the way we dressed and handled interviews. Alex was extremely charismatic through and through. He could meet a stranger in the subway station, and after 5 minutes, they were seemingly the best of friends. Me, on the other hand, I took my time getting to know a person. I didn't open up right away, which sometimes made me appear cold. It was truly the opposite, though. I wanted to know what made a person tick.
What's for breakfast? I scrounged through the cabinets in search of something, anything to make for Reese. We used our last eggs and sausage links for dinner last night, and we wiped the side of the peanut butter jar nicely with a spatula to have an after-dinner snack while we read books from the library. Think, Emery. I pulled out a loaf of bread along with an almost emptied jar of jelly and set it down on the countertop. We had one piece of bread left in the loaf, along with the 2 end pieces, though Reese refused to eat the end pieces, no matter how much jelly I'd slap against them. "That's not real bread, Mom," she'd argue again and again. "Those are the butt ends. That's what the birds by the lake eat." Though she had a point, she didn't have much of a choice that morning. I had only $12.45 in my bank account, and payday wasn't until tomorrow. Half that money would go toward rent, while I'd use the other half for budget-friendly meals. We didn't have much wiggle room in our lives at the moment, since I'd lost my one job at the hotel as a line cook. Ever since then, I'd been working nights at a sporadically busy hole-in-the-wall bar called Seven. Needless to say, the job hadn't been pulling in the money much, and I was still waiting to hear back from the unemployment office about income from losing my job. I took out a knife and shaved off as much of the butt end as I could to make it look like a normal piece of bread. Then I covered it with grape jelly. "Reese, breakfast," I called out. She hurried out of her room and came rushing to the kitchen table. As she slid into her chair, she wrinkled up her nose and grumbled. "This is the end piece, Mom," she sassed, completely unimpressed by my gourmet meal. "Sorry, kiddo." I walked over and messed up her wavy charcoal hair. "Things are a bit tight this week." "Things are always tight," she groaned, taking a bite before tossing the rest of the sandwich down on the plate. "Hey, Mama?" "Yes, sweetie?" "Are we poor?"